Hello and welcome to the Travel, Business and Mindset podcast. My name is Ollie Clark, and I'm really excited to be holding our third ever podcast today. And this lady I've never met in person. She's got a really, really exciting local business to me. She's too busy that I've never met her in person. So, yeah, she is a vision board mentor. Isn't that a great title? I was like, when she sent me through her business title, I was like, wow, not just a business vision board person, a real mentor. So yeah, really
Thank,
excited to have you. So welcome to Vanessa Buck. Gonna be really, really amazing to hear all about what she does. So yeah, a couple of months back, I posted that I was on the hunt and lookout for new businesses to interview, and Vanessa was like, "Yes, please." And so here we are today. We are still looking for more businesses to interview. So if you fancy it, drop me a message and we can get involved. So, vision boards, many of you may have heard of a vision board, you may have done one. And today we're going to dive in about the benefits and of vision boarding and understanding more about Vanessa's business. So, first of all, first question for you. Tell me, what led you into becoming a business vision board mentor?
Hello, Ollie. Thank you for that introduction. And one day I will get to the events. I keep writing them down, and just at the moment, life is just extremely busy, which is good, which is good. But how I kind of was led to become a vision board mentor, and to run and facilitate workshops, well-being for businesses, small businesses, corporate businesses. For young people, I go into Think 18, Young People Shop, Born Trust, and as well as doing my individual workshops, is how I came across it is first, I actually did my own vision board when I was a bit lost in my life and the roles I take on, and we all take on, because naturally we start off as Ollie and Vanessa, and through our life we are maybe daughters, um, brothers, sisters. We might become partners, and then sometimes we have families, we work colleagues, business owners. So we kind of, our identity starts being thread through these other elements. And I lost my way in my business I run previously. I allowed my business to rule me rather than I ruled it, while I was juggling being a mum, a wife, a sister. I was listening. I was kind of burnt out. I wasn't listening to whispers. I knew I needed a rest, but I just kept pushing, pushing, pushing. And if you don't make time for wellness, you have to make time for illness. And unfortunately, I got ME. And then you felt like you're a failure because obviously you can't work at the same pace as you used to and how you were. And naturally sometimes life throws us curveballs, because that's life. I lost my mum, and grief we have to navigate and process. And all of a sudden, my kids were teenagers, late teenagers, start to drive. I thought, who is Vanessa within the roles I take on? They didn't need me so much, so I wasn't this person who was having to be there every 5 seconds. So, and I didn't know who Vanessa was. So going on a vision board workshop, it was very much more the woo woo version. You put it on your board and you go away and it will just happen. But something sowed the seed that day in, I thought this means something. And to me, it's about awareness and connection. And from there, as we all know, 2020 was where we all kind of stopped. COVID happened, and it was an ideal opportunity because my other business was a beauty business and it closed down because obviously we couldn't do that kind of thing. I was able to do lots of training courses online, and I did like a life coach course. It just like a little one. I did some training courses to, maybe I thought I'd maybe teach beauty or go into schools and be a teacher assistant. So did all these various different qualifications, but I kept coming back to imagery and images. And that's when I created Vision Boards for All. It became a bit of a framework. I created my own dream life framework where I kind of then, when we reopened up, well, actually, it was before that, I started posting about, the benefits of using imagery in our life and how we can, disrupt that autopilot and use it to connect. And Weight Watchers approached me. They were looking for content because everyone was online. And my first ever workshop or kind of talk I did was in front of 208 people. So it's a bit scary. Never thought I was going to go down that route of talking online and doing things like this. And I thought, it really resonated with people. And I thought, I'm onto something here. And from there, Vision Boards for All was born. So that's a little bit about my story as such.
Amazing. God, it must have been terrifying talking to that many people. So, but yeah, it's quite exciting. Also, at the same time, you're like, oh, I can do this. So sometimes you need that big old nudge to get you going. So vision boards. So tell us a little bit more about vision boards. What is a vision board, and how can it help us reconnect with ourselves? Cool, that's a bit deep, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, vision boards are basically, they are quotes and words that resonate with us. So they're a collection. I always say, if you've never done a vision board, the first thing to do is allow the pictures to do the talking. And they really help you to gain clarity. It can help you to connect with where you are in your life, because what we want in our 20s is different to our 30s, 40s, 50s, due to, life throwing us our curveballs and what actually happens in our life. And we're so busy being human doings rather than human beings, is a great opportunity to disrupt that autopilot, the everyday habits, to kind of, instead of be in your life, work on your life. What does it look like? Because we often reflect, but we don't change. And if we want to disrupt our everyday habit, we have to know what that looks like. And what the pictures do, it allows us to get out of our head into our heart, because everything we do has an emotion attached to it. Because even we lie with our emotion, we often see these adverts on TV, especially after Christmas, with about going on holiday and free, and you go on holiday and you'll connect with everyone. But the first person we need to connect with is actually ourselves, and we have to understand our version of happiness, what makes us happy, and our version of success. And naturally that changes with and so it can, wherever you are, your vision board will meet you. So but it also can take you where you're going, because you can use them for all different things. I use them for self kindness and self love. We can use them to level up your business. We can it's not like a board just of pure wants of like, I want this and I want that. It's about the feeling behind it. How do you want to feel in your life? Because when we kind of sow that seed, we are priming the brain to see the opportunities and possibilities. So what happens is, the neuroscience behind it is, since the brain doesn't distinguish between the real and imagined, which you can't actually comprehend that, you and me, Ollie, will read the same book, but we'll take something different to it because we have our own essence and our own beliefs. And the same, if you've ever watched British Bake Off, the baking show, they'll all cook the same recipe, but it'll all be slightly different because it's their version, it's their take on it. And that's a bit like your vision board. It's what we're doing, the visualization, that mental rehearsal to get familiar with the unfamiliar. As they say, where energy goes, energy flows. So if I was to ask everyone to look around the room now. So, Ollie, I'll let you look around your room. I know there's not that much there, but if I ask you to look around your room and just kind of see anything that's got a little bit of green in it. So it might be that the plant behind you's got a little bit of green. It might be your computer in front of you might have some green icons. And then just allow yourself to see any little bit of green and then shut your eyes. And I'll do this with anyone who's seen anything out there that's a little bit green, and then shut your eyes and tell me what you saw that was grey. And instantly, you couldn't think probably straight away what was grey. All of a sudden, you probably recall, oh yes, my computer's grey. But initially, you probably couldn't think straight away what was grey. I don't know if that happened for you there.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's something green. So
yes,
not
you was thinking it was
grey.
like green. Exactly. So where energy goes, attention flows. So
Mm.
when you put the imagery on your board, that is helping you to prime your brain to see those possibilities and opportunities of things that you are aiming, your goals, your aspirations, your dreams you want to work towards, where because it value tags what's important. So that helps to disrupt that autopilot. And a lot of the reasons why it works is the stats is 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual, and 40% of us respond better to visuals. And when we say visuals, even words can be visual. Sometimes the power of the words, we love quotes and affirmations. People often see those and feel an attachment to them. And that is like kind of one of the reasons it's obviously much bigger than that. But what your vision board does, it helps us to reconnect with ourselves because it brings that awareness, it brings that clarity, it brings aha moments, it brings focus, it brings motivation. Um, and it allows our subconscious to do the speaking. It gets us out of the head and into our kind of subconscious. So you could say your heart, whatever, your inner wisdom. And that's where we make our decisions. When we align our head, heart, and gut together, that connection really helps us to understand who we are, who our vision is, what that brings us our purpose, which ultimately creates our lifestyle.
Amazing. So tell us about the kind of people who you enjoy working with. I know there's kind of like three main areas. Talk about the three main areas of the kind of focus which you work with, your kind of people you like to work with.
I think I do, that's why I kind of call myself vegetables for all because, and everyone always says, oh, you should niche and be, really particular with who you want to work with, who is your ideal customer. But that's completely it. Everyone can be my ideal customer, depending on where they are and what they're doing. So for business perspective, we often start our business with a vision in mind. We want the flexibility, the freedom of choice. And then we get stuck in our business and we're not always enjoying it because we're just on this treadmill of kind of surviving and we've got to be doing this. So, what I love working with businesses is it helps them to see the bigger picture. It helps them to see that it isn't just their business that they have to show up for, it's their other areas of their life as well. And sometimes when they realize actually they're missing out on key areas like maybe fitness or something like connection because they're working from home and they're not actually connecting with people going to networking themselves, for example, that actually there's something missing and what they thought their business was going to look like looks like completely different. So it helps. And it also gives so many businesses light bulb moments where they think they're so busy working in their business, they often don't see that they could actually be working over here with these people. And actually that would add another layer to their business. So when I've worked with people, it's shown them like I do a bit of a business, one to one, and we ask questions. So it's that really that brain dumping, that I call it the ABC, that awareness, balance, and connection, and finding out where you are kind of staying safe and where you need to get out your comfort zone and push to be able to level up. So businesses I love because sometimes you're bringing a few core people together. If you're on the same kind of team, but all do different jobs, knowing what your vision looks like for that project could be completely different to someone else's. And actually, when you see it in a visual way, it helps you all to see that you're going in the same direction. So it's lovely for a project based as well. And it really helps with people's messaging as well. Sometimes we did one with 5 different business owners, and we asked them to pick just one picture which they felt that represented their business. And one lady, she picked a fisherman because she was a person who was a physiotherapist, and she found that she was enabling him to carry on working, and that brought her happiness and that brought him happiness because he wasn't in pain. And just by one picture that can tell so much story, and that reminds you of your why you're doing it and what you're doing, and that's can help in so many different ways. So the business way for vision boards can, often people don't see the value in it, but it really can make a huge difference. And then I love working with the young people because they haven't been kind of affected by life's habits as much yet, because they aren't frightened to dream big. And that structured reflection really empowers them, and it really helps them to see, because every day when you're growing, you're at school and you're always being told maybe you're doing it wrong, as well as right, but you're always pushing to that next level. But when you look at it on your vision board, it shows you how far you've come. It's not always just about that, striving towards it. Sometimes is about seeing your vision board and showing you how far you've come, and how strong and powerful and unique you all are. We all are amazing, unique individuals, and tapping into our strengths and weaknesses is so important. So I think that visual inspiration, that positive reinforcement for kids is amazing. And then I think with anyone else who just wants to connect with their life, there's so many aha moments I see, and people often come to the vision board workshop thinking it's just going to be a fun afternoon. And so many people think, I get it now. I can see it. It's taking that time out for well-being and wellness, and having that awareness, that balance, and that connection. Because naturally, what we think, we become. If we're thinking, and our brain is wired to keep us safe, so it's going to have more of a negative bias. What we feel, we attract. So if we're feeling low, rubbish, that's what we're going to see, coming back to that energy piece. And what we imagine, we create. So if we think we can't have it, we won't have it. So it really helps then to work on that mindset and that motivation, and using my dream free framework. And that's why I created, my one step at a time planner, because that can aid people to change those habits, because it's very easy to fall back into those autopilots. But coming to that dream framework, D is about designing your life. You're going off traveling, to take time out of your business. For some people could probably say, I can't do that. I can never do that. But, who says you can't? You make it work for you, don't you? And it's coming from that abundance mindset rather than that lack, because it's always going to be there for you. It's about celebrating that journey and enjoying this moment in time, because yesterday has gone, it's happened. Tomorrow isn't promised. We only have today. So what would make today great? What are we grateful for while we're working towards our goals, dreams, and aspirations? So I think that I could talk about it forever, and I could go off on a tangent, and you can go over
Mm.
here and you could go over here and over here. But basically that's a bit of a whistle stop tour of how vision boards and how imagery can help, um and why they can make such a difference to your life.
Amazing. How great is that? So, yeah, that's a little bit about what Vanessa does and how a vision board can help you and little overview. So, if you're a business or you'd like to get involved with your school or community group and you feel that a vision board might be something which will get your community or family or business in the right direction, Vanessa would love to help. So just one finally, Vanessa, where can people get in contact with you?
They can get hold of me on my website, which is www.visionboardsforall.co.uk. You can find me on the usual channels of Instagram and Facebook under the same name. And you might be able to see my logo backwards there, but that's my logo, VB. Which is very strange because obviously my name being Vanessa Buck, and then vision boards, it's the same. And as
Yeah.
it's a who I was obviously always destined to be here. Um, and I'm all on LinkedIn as well. And I think that's a vision boards for all as well. So yes, just come and find me, come and say hi, come and join my newsletter, whatever. And if anyone wants to do a vision board workshop, I think sometimes it's nice to just get 5 people together, work colleagues, networking group, and actually just run one, get me to come in and facilitate it and run one rather than wait for me to hold a workshop an XYZ date because it doesn't always fit with you. So I do kind of vision board parties, as you would call them. I don't know what else you could call them, but events. And people just get about 5 people or more, but 5 is a good number. And it really works well.
Nice. Yeah, amazing. So thanks so much. Yeah, I was just had a bit of a panic moment then. I thought I hadn't been recording. And I was like, oh my God. So, yeah, luckily it has been recorded. So I was just about to stop and I was like, oh my God, I don't think this is recorded. So it has. So thank you so much to Vanessa for coming on today. And hopefully you might like to check out Vanessa and what Vanessa's done. Please like and subscribe to the podcast. Without your help, we can't get it to grow. So thank you and goodbye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.